Mental illnesses is a serious problem around the world and one of the most overlooked issues affected. There are various kinds of mental issues, some of which include anxiety and panic disorders, bipolar disorders, and depression. There are disorders that implement everyday's life and have been known to lead to death in several instances. If that's the case, the question must be asked as to why these disorders and illnesses are being treated. The reason mental disorders are not being treated as widely as they should be is because of difficulties to identify certain mental illnesses because of their closely related symptoms and stigmas of actually having a mental illnesses. Mental illnesses is defined as conditions that affect your thinking, feeling, mood, and behavior. They may be caused as long-lasting or temporary. They could affect your abilities to relate to other functions every day. There are a lot of illnesses that have been identified, and as our knowledge of them increasing, we are able to identify more often and also to know them as the most kind of and famous mental disorders. They could be known into four groups, constantly of anxiety disorder, mood disorder, and eating disorder. From these disorders stigma the more commonly known disorders to society, which include anxiety and panic, bipolar, and depression. There are many things that can cause mental illnesses. Society had this concept in their mind that mental illnesses stem from a traumatic moment. However, that is not always necessarily the case. There is a lot of conditions or factors that can cause or lead to mental illnesses. These conditions may include, but are not only limited to genetics, exposure to illnesses which inside the womb of another used to drugs, having a serious mental condition, or a traumatic event or brain injury. All of these symptoms contribute to mental illnesses. There is stigma behind mental illnesses which implement the treatment and awareness. There are a lot of people that believe mental illnesses are not as grave as they perceive to be, due to the fact that many cultures that do not accept them nor believe them. Certain cultures believe that mental illnesses are not always real. They are a sign of weakness as well. That those who have mental illnesses are considered broken when the case is known for them mental illnesses are considered to be less than that person. To conclude, there are many types of mental illnesses, and as society's knowledge of them increases, so does the ability to identify the type of mental disorders. With that knowledge of mental illnesses, increasing the awareness increases the ability to combat and aid those without the ability to do so themselves, and eventually changing the status quo about mental illnesses.